Hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? Well, we're dropping down from Armu village and we're just about to enter Konya village. And these are two of the villages that look down upon Paphos, shall we say, and they're on the Limassol roundabout side. So if you understand me, they're in the greatest possible position if you want to live in Paphos, because everything you could possibly want is on this side of Paphos, that is for sure. From the Alpha Mega supermarket to the McDonald's to the road all the way down to Paradise, which of course is Cape of Paphos, the promenade and the harbour area. So sit back and enjoy the little drive as we descend into Paphos, and we're going to go into hell, if you're wondering. That's where we're going. We're going to go and look for some bits and bobs, and I'm going to take you on that journey with us. Now let's go and check who is on that breakfast sofa. I think Miss Dawn, she's sitting there, Mr. Sean, he's sitting there, and of course my two furry friends, Miss Daisy, good morning, and Mr. Bobo the doggy, good morning. And Miss Daisy, if you're curious to know, she's a nice little fluffy Cypriot cat that was abducted from downtown Paphos, and now she resides in, well, damp and cold Derbyshire, and she's wishing to come back, and she's constantly on the EasyJet app having to check out the prices, a bit like Dame Anne, who's now had her bill, and of course she's getting ready to pay that bill because she understands that she's going to be getting on a big bird and flying out to Paphos and booking herself into the Alexander the Great, one of the greatest hotels in downtown Paphos, and she's going to hang out in good company. Who else likes to stay there? Well, we know. So sweet Lady Caroline, she likes to hang out in there, and of course her partner in crime, Lord Nigel Big Guns, he likes to hang out and drink, well, a gentleman's sour, shall we say, or two. And on top of that, well, Mr. Andrew and Miss Nessie, they like to hang out, and on top of all of that, there's quite a few other people who like to go there as well. We understand that, Miss Fiona and her partner in crime, Mr. Rob, and as we speak, there are two people that are already members of our family staying there right now. Yes, Mr. Richard and Miss Julie, they're booked in, and they brought their little son with them. I don't think he's that little actually, he's 11. And of course his name is Mr. Leo, so he's booked in there, and unfortunately there's a pussycat that's been run over. That's a shame, real shame. Never mind, this is life, isn't it? Right, let's turn up here, and this road now links the, we're going to call it the Armu Konya down to the roundabout road. It links that road to the Midtown road that takes you from the Anavargos Fountain roundabout all the way up to the roundabout at the top of the Musoi Avenue. Slowly but surely, if you continue to watch the films, you will work out where you are, that's for sure. Now, who's on the sofas? Let's have a quick look. Mr. Paul Roberts, he's sitting there, and sitting next to him is, wait for it, Miss Nicole. Yes, she's sitting there and she's kicking back and she's thinking, we're not in Crete. No, we're not in Crete. We're in downtown Paphos. But don't worry, I promise you, Miss Nicole, if you keep watching long enough, one of these days we are going to touch down on the beautiful island of Crete. I'm going to get a fast car and I'm going to go and find that Crete driver, and I'm going to outrun him, and I'm going to show you your homeland much better and much faster than him. There we are. Right, let's just get out into this traffic and get into the main flow of things. It's getting quite busy at this time of day. If you're curious to know what is the time, well, it's 4:15 in the afternoon, and the temperature, well, 19 degrees. What would you expect? Absolutely spectacular. It's cooking us in downtown Paphos, and we're only at the end of January. Yep, you heard me correctly. Look at that for a rather nice fountain spraying roundabout. Very nice indeed. It's got that beautiful blue background, and of course that's the blue skies, and of course just over yonder is the blue Mediterranean Sea. So if you're looking for somewhere special to come on your holidays, I can promise you Paphos has to be right at the top of that list. Now let's go and check who else is in the breakfast crew. Mr. Doug, he's in town, and he's hoping for, what should we say, suggestions and some help, because he wants to write a murder mystery novel, and he wants to base it in Cyprus, and the murder victim, that's going to be me, Mr. Paul, and he's looking for some ideas and some locations. So if you can help, drop it in the comments. Who else is in town? Let's have a quick look around. Well, just off the sofa over there, frantically trying to plug in his treadmill, that's Mr. Allen. Yes, we haven't forgotten Mr. Allen. And he's going to knock it up to a leisurely pace because we're on the flats. But you can speed up slowly, Mr. Allen, because we're going to take a left at the bottom of the Masoi Avenue, and we're going to start our descent down into hell, where all the big diggering is going on. So slowly but surely, you will come to understand where we are. That's for sure. Anyway, now, what can we talk about today? Should we talk about the roads? Well, we're always talking about the roads, aren't we? They're absolutely terrible is what they are. Sherlock Holmes, which is our words. And if you're curious to know and you're new to the channel and you haven't worked out what Sherlock Holmes means yet, well, it means S-H-I-T. And it goes back a long way in the channel. One day I was trying to pronounce something and, well, I got it all wrong. And Marika leant over and she was about to swear and she said, "You're talking a load of Sherlock Holmes." So that's where that actually comes from. So whenever something's not too good, we call it Sherlock Holmes. So there you go. And what else can we tell you about if you're new to the channel? Well, you've heard me say Marika and you've heard me say Miss Ochin Gracilian LaBeouf. Well, that's the movie star name that I gave to the most beautiful woman in the world, who is my partner in crime. Of course, her name is Marika, but Miss Ochin Gracilian LaBeouf has a little bit more of a je ne sais quoi, shall we say. What does it mean? Well, Ochin means very, Gracilian means beautiful, and LaBeouf, or LaBeouf to pronounce it correctly, means love. So in plain, simple English, it means very beautiful love. And I remember when I gave her that name, some people have seen me, I can't say it on camera what she actually said, but her hand flicked out and she said something off. Anyway, from that moment on, that name has stuck, and until we die, which hopefully is a long way away, I will refer to her as Miss Ochin Gracilian LaBeouf, or quite simply the LaBeouf. And then of course on top of that we've got Miss Ella, who is the daughter, and she's called the baby LaBeouf, or I think Sir Simon and Sir Jeremy call her LaBeoufka. I think that's how they pronounce it. Anyway, she quite likes it, and every time she watches one of our videos and she happens to notice a comment and one of them mentions LaBeoufka, she has a little chuckle and a laugh and normally phones her mum up. And if you're wondering what she's up to, well, she's got a busy little life as well, but slowly but surely she is going to start to appear in more videos. So there's something to look out, Mr. Doug. Miss Baby LaBeouf will be appearing on camera very soon indeed, and you never know, she might do a big shout out for you. You never know. So where are we? Rush hour traffic. As you can see, it's absolute chaos. What the hell I came down here for, I do not know. But we're filtering down, as I've said, at this crossroads now to give you some understanding. If you actually went straight over, you'd wiggle a bit and then waggle a bit, and you'd end up in Ember, and then you could go back down to Clorica or out towards Tala. If you were to go right, you would go up the Masoi Avenue. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. And that's the road where all the big shops are, big super shops, and a lot of car dealerships and that kind of thing. And then at the very top of that road, there's a crossroads. You can go into Messahoya village, or you could go left for, well, Chamathusa first and then Tala, or you keep going straight and start your ascent up towards Tassada. And if you kept on going on that road, eventually you'd end up in Polis, and if you kept on going, you'd end up in the blue Mediterranean Sea. But we're not going that way, we're going left, as you can see, and we're going to waggle our way down towards hell. What's hell? If you're new to the channel, well, that's one of the main arteries in the centre of Paphos, which the Gumbaru #1, that's the mayor, the man who likes to park his black Mercedes on double yellow lines and on chevrons across to a school. Why does he do that? Because he doesn't know how to work the smart app, because you can't put cash in a parking meter anymore. Oh no, the powers that be have decided you need to get an app, and well, there you go. That's the rant over, Mr. Andrew. And if you're sitting there on that little sofa, hopefully you've got Nessie cuddling up to you, because I understand over in Shropshire it's a little bit nippy at the moment. And just up the road from you, well, there's Mr. Andy. I'm sure now he's settled down, and he's got my JJ tonic, Miss Justine, and I bet they're cuddled up And Leo the dog's there as well, going, what the hell is this rubbish we're watching? But anyway, there we go. Now, we're going to keep going straight at this roundabout. It's a new roundabout if you've not been to Paphos. And again, if you go down that way, eventually you join up the road that takes you either into the old town or into Clorca. We're going to go straight. And this road is a new road if you've not been here for a few months. And this is the first stretch of the road. It's been finished, but unfortunately they haven't finished all of it. So slowly but surely we are going to enter hell. To give you a bearing, on the left, that is the former Carrefour supermarket, and now it's called, wait for it, my pronunciation, Skevenides, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, Hellenic Bank just over there on the right if you want some money. Pop a balaclava on, pop in, they never stop you. Threaten them and they'll probably give you chump change, 10 grand or somewhere around there. Might be enough to buy an S-Class Mercedes Classic, you never know. So as you can see, this road, some parts are finished, but there's big bollards and concrete pillars all over the it's terrible. What can I say? How the hell these businesses are surviving, who only knows, is all I can say. And there's not a lot of work going on. Whenever I come down, there's a bunch of good barriers standing around in yellow bibs, but they're always standing around talking on mobile phones or smoking or drinking frappes. Anyway, rant over, that's for sure. Let's keep going, because somewhere down here is a shop that we want to go to. So stick with me for that little bit longer and put up with my insanity. And of course, if you do like what you see, why not hit that like, click the subscribe, and come back for a little bit more of my complete and utter insanity. And if you really want to watch the channel grow and you want to make us, well, go out and do something stupid like buy a classic car and then, well, eventually end up bankrupt, you could go through to our about page, hit the buy me a coffee icon, and buy us a coffee or two, and we promise that we will convert that money into parts, insurance, benzene, which is liquid petrol, and we'll take you on that adventure, and hopefully it won't end in disaster, but it probably will. Anyway, here we go. I'm pretty sure now you understand why it's known as hell. You can't, well, you can drive down this bit, but slowly but surely the road does get worse and worse. And when we're talking about potholes, I mean, Dizzy Blonde, if you're watching, there's potholes down here that, well, they can swallow more than one car, that's for sure. This is quite a big car, and they take big chunks out of it every time we come down. They go, yum, 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 how tasty, tasty. So they're now diverting us to that side, there we go. So they're digging this side again now, there we are. Unbelievable. Now, if you're curious to know what that building over there is, that's a Peugeot dealership. I don't know why you've got one of them in Cyprus, because nobody really wants to buy them. But it's actually a Honda dealership as well. And as you can see, Honda services round the back of it. And the two brothers, Marius and Flinos, that run that business, well, they don't sell many Peugeots, let's put it that way. They've got a service agent, so there are one or two people who've got Peugeot, so they get their hands in their wallets when they want a service, but that's about it. But they do sell an awful lot of Hondas, because obviously Hondas, well, if you watch the channel, you'll understand if you've got a H on the back of your car, you're not doing too bad, that's for sure. Possibly one of the most reliable cars in the world, if not the most reliable. There's arguments between Toyota and Mercedes as well, obviously. I like Hondas, I really, really do. And I often have a Honda in my life, but my favourite cars are actually Mercedes, especially the older ones, and I do have a soft spot for Range Rovers, especially the full fat ones. So, Mr. Andrew, hats off to you. But when they break down, problem, especially in Cyprus, because the parts supply, shall we say, is not that good. Anyway, we've entered downtown hell. That's where we are, and the roads can't get much worse than this, can they? Hopefully not. Look at these potholes coming up now. Oh, so sweet. Get your jumper on that pillow. Lord Nigel, quickly knock back a bottle if I was you, because it's going to be very, very uncomfortable indeed. Look at these potholes. Look at them. Wow. Where's that mayor when you want him? Sitting by his pool, I'll bet. Having one of those. Well, he's either on the oh so sweet because he's delusional, or he could be on an even sweeter drink indeed. It could be on the Dayman special. You never know. Look at that for a potter. Huh? Anyway, rant over, promise you. So, where are we? Well, at the crossroads down here, you've heard me mention that this is Petrol Station Avenue. There's 4 petrol stations literally side by side, so don't worry if you've missed one of them. There's going to be another one along in literally a second or so. And again, if you were to wiggle behind the Esso on the right hand side here, that's the Old Town, to give you an understanding. So behind that Esso station is the Old Town, but we're not going that way, we are going straight. And then this is, shall we call it, the municipality area, because if you go towards the left you get to the law courts, and then over you've got the head office of Paphos Cyprus. There's all sorts of bits going on here, and then just further yonder is Kennedy Square, where this video is going to end. So I'm going to say really thank you for watching. Really appreciate it, by the way, and I take your comments all very seriously. And if there's somewhere that you'd really like to go, if you tickle me enough, I'm pretty sure that your name will be appearing on a video very soon. And I apologize that we cannot name everyone, but as time goes on, if you keep coming back, I'm pretty sure that your name will be mentioned. Mr. Ronnie Zamiri, in this episode, your name was not on the bench, but I promise you if you come back tomorrow, it will be. And I hope you're having a great time over there in Israel, and we're looking forward to seeing you very soon. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. See you in the next one. And if you're curious, on the right hand side there, that is Uptown Kennedy Square, and there's a bit of digging and all sorts going on. And on the left hand side there with the green shutters, that is the previous police station and prison, which they've demolished most of it, and I think they're going to refurb some of that and keep it as an antique building. So there you go, you learn something every day, that's for sure. Gridlock in downtown Paphos, I tell you. I'm gonna have to buy myself one of those Range Rovers, and then we can just ram the cars out of the way. Not a bad idea. Well, there you can see the mayor's not parked on the chevrons and the lines across the school. No, because as I said, he's gone home, he's sitting by his pool. Thanks for watching.